Hello, Mujeres. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Mujeres de Pilar. It's me, Pilar. Today, I have my best friend of 13 years, Miah Blake, on to talk about all things her new business, all things Black Lives Matter, and supporting big Black businesses. Not small businesses, big businesses. Miah, say hello.
Hey, everybody. So happy to be here on Mujeres de Pilar. What's up?
Yes. So besides Miah being my best friend, I want to give you guys a little bit of background. She's a singer, dancer, actress, all things artistic, creator, and she is now a new business owner. I'm really excited to have her on with us today. Me and Miah, like I said, have been best friends and friends just in general since we were in high school, literally freshman year. Miah reminded me last time we spoke that she was on my quinceañera. Like, it's been a minute. I don't want to say that it's been forever because then I don't want to release our ages. But Miah has done extraordinary things in life. I'm excited to have her on to talk about her new business, Shaanti Chaos. How you doing, Miah?
I'm feeling so good. You know, the weather's nice.
It is. It's
good to see your beautiful face.
I love you. And today I am rocking my new Shaanti Chaos Police the Police shirt. So I'm really excited. Let's start.
Right.
Okay. Miah, I want to know all things about Shaanti Chaos. I remember us being on our cruise last year in Jamaica, or going to Jamaica, and you were talking about starting a business. And here you are literally 1 year later.
Crazy.
And you have a business.
Now it's here. Yeah, so I don't even know where to start. Honestly, it's not like I had this plan for years on end. It was just, you know, being in a capitalist world, I figured I need something of my own. And I was like, what am I passionate about? And I said, I realized, what was it, in San Diego, I was on a job and I was with my girl Paris. Shout out to Paris.
Yes, I haven't met Paris, but I am so excited to meet her. I love her. I've seen her in some of y'all shows.
We're always together making TikToks.
Yes,
follow her.
She's
_Paris Nicole. She's great. Me and her always, you know, do dance gigs together. And I was styling us for a job that I was choreographing for, and we were wearing like these bodysuits that kind of like really just highlighted.
The highlight ones. Are they highlight color?
Well, one is highlighted. Mine was like a neon yellow green, and then hers was black. And you know, we had these backpacks that matched, just like super 80s girl, like,
yeah, you guys are super cute. I remember
fly
the photos.
Girl, and it was such a fun weekend. And I was just thinking to myself, like, man, I love this look. I love how empowered I feel when I'm with my girls, and like we're dressed to kill, and we were cozy too. So I was like, what is something that I could come up with, like, that's gonna accentuate, you know, just beauty, but still being comfortable and in your skin. And I was like, biker shorts. I love biker shorts. And I realized, like, if you're gonna invest in a business or do something, do what you know. And I know biker shorts. I will throw on some biker shorts any day.
I remember you like rocking biker shorts in high school. Like it's been one of your trends.
Literally,
for like years.
You know, you already know. And I'm like, okay, it's poking out, it's cute. You know, you may not even have the hugest butt in the world,
but it makes it look. But it rocks.
Exactly.
Like, I literally was at this ice cream place, it's like a raspado place, and there was this girl wearing biker shorts, and all I could think of was you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, she was like right in front of me, but she was really petite, really tiny, but she looked bomb.
They could fit on any body and just look, you know, so dope.
I feel like when you wear them, you just like, you know you're bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know you look good, and it accentuates your body.
And it's not like you're trying hard. You're cozy, you're in your biker shorts, and it happens to show your body. Like, we should all be, you know, body conscious and happy about the skin we're in. It shouldn't be like, you know, specific to any type of one body. And that's what I love, you know.
Yes.
They fit all.
So that's where your like idea came.
Exactly.
For Shaanti Chaos.
Shaanti Chaos. So Shaanti is Hindi for peace, which that part of my life has always been a thing for me. My life motto is finding peace within the chaos. So I was coming up with names, and I was just like, what's a, another word for peace? A lot of times when you come up with business names, they want things that are, different. And so Shaanti came up on Google. It was pretty simple, just straightforward. And I was like, I fuck with this name.
Yes.
And then the meaning was peace. So, mixing that contrast of how we are surrounded by a chaotic world and environment and always finding the peace within yourself. That's what I want to represent. That's what I want to say. If I could use my voice in any way, that's what I want to say to the world, is you can always find peace and inner peace within any chaotic environment you're in.
Yes.
And
your brand embodies that, literally.
That's what it is.
Literally. Okay, I want to know. So now you skipped ahead, so you got the question.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm skipping.
You're doing
I'm
good.
on it, girl.
No, you're on it. Who am I? Mujer de Pilar, who?
I'm weak.
Okay, so what's your favorite piece? I know you love biker shorts. Obviously, that's what you're passionate about. But I have a favorite piece that I'm wearing today.
Yay.
And I want to know, like, other than your biker shorts, do you have another piece on your line that you are just, like, so excited about?
Well, I, of course, have to let everybody know what's going on, because with the climate we're in, I definitely have pieces that are dear to me, which is the shirt you're wearing, and it says Police the Police. And the specific one you're wearing is my favorite because it's the retro edition.
Yes.
And the freaking colors are fly. Like, I made this graphic design myself on, Canva. Shout out to them too. And it was like just not even that complex to make, but it still means so much to me. And I chose Police the Police because that is literally how I feel.
Can you explain that to our listeners?
Yeah,
like, break that down for them.
What Police the Police means is, a lot of people are going around saying defund the police. That's another part that we want to address as well. And I felt like Police the Police means a lot to me just because we need the police to be police. It's very straightforward.
They need to be regulated.
They need to be regulated. They need to be held accountable for these,
and it's our job as the community to make sure that's happening.
Absolutely. They need to be held accountable, period. And, we're out there and we're protesting. We need to make it known that we're not going to rest until the shit is taken care of. And so...
And there's a lot to be taken care of.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say,
levels
there's
to this shit.
There is a lot of different levels.
Levels to it. So.
When I saw this piece, so as soon as you sent us, you sent all of us, like, the link to go to your website, I went on the link, like, automatically. And
because you're my best friend.
Yeah, girl, you already know I had to get my shirt. So I actually didn't even know what I was going to be purchasing yet. I just saw your website and I got on, and this was like the first. I think this is the first thing I saw on the website, if I'm remembering right. First of all, y'all, the website is really easy to scroll through. It's super easy to purchase. I know some websites can be very confusing.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It's very straightforward, and still growing. But,
still growing, but definitely very easy to choose from. And so this was the one that I saw. It says Police the Police. She said it has a retro design. As soon as I saw the colors, I was like, what can I buy on here that's going to represent Miah fully? Right?
Yeah.
And as soon as I seen this shirt, I was like, oh, I have to have those colors, because you have another version in black and white.
Black and white, yeah.
Yes.
That's for everyone who wants to, kind of be able to wear it with other things as well.
Yes. I'm going to wear this all day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like all day.
They both could be worn with
yes.
anything.
But I saw these colors and I was like, oh my God, that's Miah. Yes, these colors are bright. They're bold. And my shirt literally just came in the mail yesterday, so it's perfect timing to be able to come and record with you today.
I know. I was so happy you showed up wearing it. I was like,
yes, I had to represent. So you guys check out. Can you let them know where they can go?
So you guys can go to, you can follow me on IG at Miah Not Mia, and that's MIAHNOTMIA, just to, also get to know who I am. And I have my Shaanti Chaos website on there, but specifically the website is www.shaanti, and that's SHAANTICHAOS.com. I also have the IG for that website as well, which is just at Shaanti Chaos.
And this week I have a different organization in my bio, but next week I'm going to put your information in my bio. So everybody will be able to go to Mujeres de Pilar, or even, my regular Instagram if you guys follow me on there. And you guys can go into my bio and Shaanti Chaos. The link will be right in my bio. You guys can click on it and go buy something. Also, I want to throw it out there. If you purchase a Police the Police shirt. Some of the proceeds are going to be going towards
Black Lives Matter, because
Yes.
they always have. So you guys would be doing dual justice.
Nice,
to
definitely.
the cause.
So get a shirt. Your money's going to be going to a very good place, and that's always great. Sometimes I know it's hard for people to, when talking about donating, I think it's important to always donate even when you don't receive anything back. But when there's an opportunity to get something back, that's even more incentive to donate. So it's this tight shirt, y'all. I'm going to post a picture in it so you guys can see it. And then I'll post some shots too of some screenshots of your website so they can, look at some items.
If you guys purchase a shirt, definitely tag Shaanti Chaos. I want to see all your beautiful bodies in these shirts and biker shorts.
And biker shorts. Somebody post their booty online, please.
Right.
Okay, so I want to talk about the movement a little bit with you, what it's meant to you. Most of my listeners, Miah, happen to be the Latinx community. Most of them are probably non-Black Latinx community, just because that's what I noticed, the people who are listening. But I think, last week I released an episode dedicated towards Black Lives Matter. And I really probably was mostly a rant just about how I have been feeling and what I think our responsibility is as Latinx community to be a part of this process that's going to happen, because it's not over. This movement is somebody just posted it, and it might have been Paris. I read it. She said this was a movement, not a moment. So that stuck with me, because I think I might have addressed that in my last episode.
Sure.
It's not done. It might seem a little bit quieter on the news or a little bit quieter on your Instagram. You see a little bit more selfies going out now. And I want everybody to just remember that this isn't done.
Right.
There's a lot of work to be done.
Right.
So, what can you share with the community who's listening about just this is your space.
We all want it to be done. Black people want it to be done. This is not our problem.
Yes.
This is not our problem. And the people who have an issue with us should be addressing what the fuck it is that they have an issue about, period. And just to be a little more sensitive about it, which I'm having a hard time doing these days, because in 2020, how do you not understand injustice?
Yep.
Specifically for the Latin community, I grew up with the Latin community. You've been my best friend for years. And there's things that we share in experiencing injustice, though it's very different when it comes down to the things that, and the numbers for our community specifically. But if I had to say anything, it's just being silent is definitely not okay, and it's not enough to not just be not racist, or to be not racist. You have, what is it, anti-racism that we're talking about, and that's definitely highlighted for me specifically, and it's a huge wake up. It's like, yeah, that's absolutely right. Like, back in the day, it's like, okay, I hang out with this person because they don't judge me for who I am and blah blah blah, and I may have thought they weren't racist, but that's not enough anymore. I need the people around me to be like, yo, I'm not racist, but I'm not gonna stand the shit that's going on in the world. I'm gonna speak up about it, and I'm gonna ride with you. And that's what we need. We need more of a community. We're not gonna be able to do it by ourselves. We literally can't,
No.
So
And the Latino community, I think it's like so important. I think it's, in my last episode I talk about me talking to my grandma about racism. I think we were watching, or I was learning something in school about the civil rights movement, which I've always been very the Holocaust and the civil rights movement have always been so personal to me. I don't know why, but I've always just taken big interest in both. And so I remember talking to my grandma and asking her why they didn't get more involved. And her response was that they were scared, that it wasn't their problem how they saw it. She's like, in the moment, we didn't think it was our problem. We were too scared to speak up, because then we would be noticed for speaking up.
And that's valid. That's human.
That's human. And I think that's valid in the time that she was growing up, but that's not valid in today's
it's not valid
day and age. Do you know what I mean?
Indefinitely, but it's understandable.
It's understandable. And so I think now is such an important time, especially if you are in the Latino culture, the Chicano culture, and you have rights here in America. Do you know what I mean? And I understand that sometimes anybody who's maybe an immigrant from another country, it's kind of scary to stand up because you have your rights and your life at risk as well. But, you know, like I've mentioned in other episodes, I'm 5th generation, from what we know, from what we can trace, American.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And I have an obligation. I feel as though I have an obligation, and I hope, you know, my listeners do, that I should speak up. You know, it's I can't ignore it, you know, and I think that my family has taken time to become anti-racist.
Right.
I feel like I need to just live as an anti-racist. Like there's not a process for me. I've had opportunity, which is a privilege that I have, and the color of my skin is a privilege, and with that privilege is a lot of responsibility.
I completely agree.
Yes, and I think that first step is admitting that we have privilege as a Latino culture. Now we have, you know, Black Latinx who don't always have the same privilege as somebody like me with light skin.
Right, and that's what you call colorism, which stems from white supremacy.
Yes.
So it's out there, and if this is your problem, if you've had a friend be mistreated because of the color of their skin, this is your problem. If you've been mistreated because of the color of your skin, like, it's a problem for everybody. And just because you didn't experience it doesn't mean it's not your problem, because someone dear to you who you love is going through this, and you need to pull up.
Yes.
If you're going to be in their circle,
and there are so many different ways to be a part of the movement.
Right.
I know that it's not easy for everybody to use their voice. It's not easy for everybody to physically be involved, like, you know, protesting or marching. But you can support businesses, right? And right before we started recording, Miah made a statement, which is why we're calling it big business instead of small business. Do you want to share
big
what?
Business moves.
Yes.
That's funny. Yeah, well, no, she had referred to, you know, the business as a small business, and we all do. I was referring to my business as a small business like a couple days ago, but my best friend, Joy, who's also an amazing chef, guys, check her out, at Joy to the World. What is that? Yummy food.
And yummy food. Sorry, y'all. I just gotta say, like, I haven't had her food, but I've been eating through Instagram, looking at her photos, and
she's the truth. She's homegrown, Atlanta cooking.
Yes.
You just can't deny it. And she has her business, and she mentioned something the other day, I think it was through Instagram as well, and she's like, you know, starting from today, I am no longer considering myself a small business.
Definitely.
I'm a big business. When you talk about me, you say big business. Or when I'm talking about myself, I'm considering myself a big business. And I said, absolutely, we have to shoot for the stars.
Definitely.
It's not, and especially being a Black woman, where I'm already the most mistreated woman on this planet. I need to value myself and look at myself as a big business and not a small business. And so that's where I'm at with that. And that was no shade to you.
No, it was a learning opportunity for me, because even with Mujeres de Pilar, I consider it something small. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's just a small, and it's not necessarily a business. It could be, y'all, you know, I might be onto something, but I think of it as small because of the numbers that are following me, or because, you know, it doesn't have as much like broadcasting as
but
others.
That's temporary.
But it's exactly, it's just a moment.
Exactly. When you think about the entirety of everything, you don't just plan on being like a small business. You want to be a brand.
Your goal is to be big, and supporting. And so what I think we should say is big independent businesses.
Yes.
Is so important and can be so beneficial to the cause.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is, with Miah's episode, I'm going to be posting. I really do. I mean, I have SoundCloud, y'all, and I know a lot of people listen on SoundCloud, but for these last 2 episodes, I really think you should look on YouTube, because with the audio, I'm putting a video up, and it's just giving information that people can look to. So my last one had like books that they can look into, and it had different, I think I posted some businesses on there, and some just different people to follow who can teach you about being anti-racist. So with this episode, I'm going to be posting small businesses, some that Miah have shared with me, because they are just personal people to you, and then just different ways of finding it. Because something that I also want to cover on, and you tell me if I'm wrong, it's our job as a Latinx community to do the work. And not just Latinx community, anybody who's interested in being a part of the movement. It's important for you to do the work, to do the research, to find the resources. I don't know, y'all, like, don't depend on your black friends to do the work for you.
Yeah, I love that you're bringing that up, and that's another huge thing. It's a catch-22 because being an empath and just someone who definitely wants to always understand where the other person's coming from, you want to, you know, understand what it means when they're saying, I don't know, or I need help understanding. What can I do to help the cause? But like I said, it's 2020 and all the resources are out there. And I know that when you're scrolling on Instagram, you're seeing video after video after video of police brutality and our people dying out here. So if you're listening to our music, if you're rocking the style that we created, you know, XYZ, this, that, and the third, in that same breath, if you're celebrating black culture, you need to be pulling up for the movement as well.
Because people have no problem finding, like you said, the culture, finding the music, finding the new style, finding the trend. So you can find the resources. The
resources are there. I know you're capable of doing it, you know, and I don't want to sound condescending at all because some people really just aren't.
Need extra help.
They need the help. But what we mean is, like, don't lean on us because we're already the oppressed ones. And you are oppressed in some ways too, being a person of, you know, Latin
of color.
And
Definitely.
Color. And so how fair is it for the oppressors, especially, to lean on us so that they can understand how to maneuver in the world we're in right now when they're, or I should say people that look like them, are the bulk of where that issue stems from, the white supremacy.
Definitely.
If you know your privilege, then you should know how to be on the right side of the tracks when it comes to using your privilege for the betterment of the society.
And that's like such a, it's so crazy because it's a hard pill for some people to swallow. Talking about privilege, like,
no one wants to hear their privilege.
Nobody wants to hear it. And
but raise your hand if you want to be black.
Yes. Yeah.
Raise your hand if you want to be black. And you might raise your hand, but why did you raise your hand? Because you wanted darker skin and not to have to tan all the time, or you wanted
for what reason?
What reason did you raise your hand?
Would you want to be a part of?
What reasons did you not raise your hand? If you want to be black, you know, we all know if you really sit there and think about what the hell is going on in the world. So there's just no excuse not to know anymore, in my opinion.
Definitely.
But we love y'all, everybody who really wants to be there and support us. Like, we're accepting of you.
And I think I'm like you, because I listen to some podcasters or like influencers, and they're not empathetic at all, y'all. Like, you need to do the work 100%. So I understand that, like you, that some people genuinely don't know, and I do think I'm a person who tries to look for, like, the better in people. Maybe that's a problem that I have.
No, I feel you.
So I, like, something that I am dedicated to with Mujeres de Pilar is, while I'm learning, because I'm still learning too, I think I might be a little bit more ahead of the game than some of my listeners. But I'm going to take them on that journey with me. I'm going to give them, you know, the resources that they need, resources that I'm using, and I'm open for people to share, you know, if they think I need to hear something different, then send it to me. I'm very open and understanding, but I'm not understanding about obvious racism. Do you know what I mean? And so don't send me nothing like that. Don't tell me all lives matter right now, because I'm not gonna be okay with it.
Oh my goodness, if you're still on this all lives matter shit, I just don't even know what to tell you.
I don't know you. It's something that I talk about also on my last episode, Maya, is just like not, and it's crazy because I'm such a hypocrite, okay guys? I talk about not, like, deleting people.
Oh, the cancel culture.
Yes, the cancel culture.
It's real.
I talk about, you know, I think it's important for, well, I think right now with, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement, and I don't know if this is hypocritical or not, but I think if you're somebody who's being hurt by what people who do not understand the Black Lives Matter movement are saying or doing, then you You have the right to cancel them. I think me, being somebody with privilege, like a white privilege, even though I'm not white, but the color of my skin is right there. I don't think I have the right to cancel people out. I think
way of looking at it.
I know, and it's somebody shared it, and it was I follow her, and I keep telling all y'all to follow her, Kat Lazo. And when she said it, I was like, that's very true, because I am easily offended by people's statements. Like, it hurts me because I have Black people in my life who are so important to me. So I do take the pain that they are feeling personally, but I have to remind myself that what I'm feeling is nothing near what they are feeling. And so when she put it in words, it was just like, it's our job. This is a part of our process. Yeah, it's easy for us to delete them. And what does it do for us? What does it do for us?
See, and where I stand with that and the whole cancel culture thing is that I understand why it's here, but I do feel like, just like anything else in this world, everything's a trend these days. And, you know, I am not an extremist type of person. I understand. I say if the reason behind it is genuine, like, I think it stems from people doing what's right, standing up for what's right. That's the whole point of canceling out somebody. You cancel out somebody who's not for the people.
Yes.
We are anti-people who are anti-people.
Yes.
And it's not good to be anti, but at the same time, it's not okay to not stand up for what's right. And so that's why the cancel culture is here. We're pissed off. We're not going to give you our money anymore. We're not going to give you your 5 seconds of fame. But you got to be careful, because if you're canceling somebody all the time, you're kind of making them trend. So it's a catch-22 with this whole cancel culture situation, because at the end of the day, they're still getting some type of publicity.
Yes.
And
I see what you're saying.
It's a little tricky.
It is. It's just really, I think for me, it's just more so like, I don't want to get rid of family members that I feel still need the opportunity to learn.
Right.
Like, me getting
canceling
rid
a
of
business
them,
is definitely different from canceling your family.
Yes, definitely. Like, but like you said, canceling them and then putting them all over. Like, I'm not gonna follow so and so anymore because of these things. It makes them trend.
Right.
So they continue to make money.
Right.
Anyways, but like family members and friends, or not even friends, but just like people who I know and
it's
say
a little more personal.
something things. I just feel like it's my job to continue to say how I feel, because I believe it's right. Until maybe they have the opportunity to change their ideas. I'm, like I said, I'm very open to listening to other people's perspectives. Doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily agree. But I can hear them out, you know, and I feel like I need to continue to make my voice heard, or give other people the opportunity to make their voice heard, so that we can change some perspectives. Some people really, Miah, it's amazing. Like, they really just don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking crazy. Like, it's really crazy to me, because
it must be nice to not know. That's a privilege.
Yeah, that's a privilege.
If you don't know, you are living in a great little utopia fairy tale with cotton candy and unicorns.
Yeah.
I'm impressed
crazy.
If you don't know.
Yeah, if you don't understand, it's crazy to me. And I think it's a lot of work, you guys. And I think some of the harder work is more so in the home. Like, having these conversations with family members. We talk about that on the last
episode. It all starts. It starts at home. That. Yep.
Yes. And I think, you know, that's hard, you know, to go to some of your elders and be like, no, what you're saying is not okay. Maybe we should not talk that way.
Yeah, stereotypes.
Yeah. And so I think it's just,
even with our own people.
Yeah, even with our own people.
I've heard some things about our own people.
I've heard some things about my people, yes. And it's, you know, and that's the thing, is like, I think what sometimes Latinx community forgets is that Latinx isn't one color.
Right.
The Latino culture is multicolor. Like, we have black Latinos, we have white Latinos, we have, you know, brown Latinos.
You guys are a beautiful,
like,
race.
Yes, it's crazy. Like, and I think that it's so easy to cancel out because of culture, because of the world that we live in. Our black Latinx family, do you know what I mean? And we need to be riding with them, like Miah said. Like, we need to be there for them, because they need us. And there's just so much ugly going on in the world. Like, July 4th just passed, and I did not celebrate the 4th of July this year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I didn't. It's not that I did. Yeah, what day? Oh, that's just that was just my, what was it?
The
Friday. That was just my Saturday. Yeah. You know, like, I had posted something like, can we really celebrate this culture? Like, can we really, I mean, this Independence Day, we have babies in cages. We have, you know, people being oppressed, police brutality, and
also, I wasn't emancipated that day, so
honestly, and
that's cool for
what were
y'all.
my people? They were taking my land.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so can I really celebrate? Should I really celebrate?
Yeah.
Is it for me? No.
But
so
you know
I
what's so crazy? Even myself, like, just last year we were all celebrating July 4th.
I'm telling you,
so
Miah,
this is a wake-up call for everybody. And you may
everybody.
think, oh, you know, I'm in the Latin community and I'm not really understanding, or I have lighter skin, I'm a little more privileged, blah blah blah. But it's everybody who's got to pull up, because people who look like me got to pull up too and check in. And that's why everything is like happening the way it is right now, so no one's comfortable anymore and complacent with shit. Like, there's just a whole higher, I was telling you last time, a whole higher level of consciousness that we're all, you know, starting to come up on now.
Yes,
and
people are becoming 100% aware.
Yeah.
I want to bring something up because it happened this week, and it's happened before, and I really want to encourage the Latin culture to not separate themselves from this movement because of this. So there were some eloteros, right, that were beaten and robbed by young black men.
Oh my gosh.
And I think a lot of people saw it as an opportunity to separate themselves from the Black Lives Matter movement. And they, people who maybe weren't already supportive were like, you know, this is why, or Brown Lives Matter too. And, well, if you're really aware of the Black Lives Matter movement, it never says that all lives don't matter.
Right.
It's just talking about, you know, a specific race that has been oppressed for so long, continues to be oppressed, and they matter the most right now. I think that we need to remember that with this happening, and you can tell me how you feel, they want us, by they, I mean, you know, white culture, wants us to separate ourselves.
Oh, absolutely.
And I believe that, yes, you know, these eloteros are out there, and the paletero man is out there, and that's honest work for them. The men and women selling flowers at the side of the freeway, that's work for them. They're out there, they're sweating. Sometimes young people, no matter what color, don't understand what's going on right now, and they make decisions that aren't right. It doesn't mean that you should cancel the whole movement because of it. That's what they want. They want the Latinos to separate themselves from the black community. I guarantee that, you know, Brown, the Latino culture, has also attacked and robbed these men and women.
Yeah, we've both done it.
Everybody's done it. You know? Nobody is innocent, but it's not a reason to cancel each other out. No, it doesn't make it okay. I'm not okay with it. But it doesn't mean cancel the entire movement. That's what they want.
Picture. You got to look at the bigger picture. There is a hidden agenda, and I'm low-key conspiracy theorist, so I definitely feel like there's a group of elite people that are out there, and they want us to disagree. It doesn't even matter about what party you're in. It goes down to that. It's just keeping this complete like war going on between us that's everlasting, so that the rich people stay rich and the broke people stay broke.
Yes.
And you wipe out the entire middle class.
Yes.
Like, look at what's happening in our economy.
Yes.
So I think that it's, at the end of the day, racism, that stems from the need for power. And look at the people who have the power and look at people who don't.
Yes.
And that was the best way to be able to separate how it was going to be distributed.
Yes.
And so we got to wake up, and we got to stop making certain situations that are more personal be the entire answer for the entirety of what is going on for the bigger picture of humanity, because together we can't do it without each other, you know?
No, and because you have brown people who are Latinx people who are racist towards Latinx people, black people who aren't about the Black Lives Matter movement. It's bigger than just like, it is about the color of our skin, but it's bigger than the color of our skin. Like like I said, we have people in our cultures, our individual cultures, who don't support our culture. So, you know, you have to
gotta outsmart these people, because this is what they want.
Don't let them
separate
us.
It's you brought up, you know, being understandable as to why stuff like this happens is because, you know, with the economy and just the injustice, people of color are being sucked back into the systems.
Yes.
That they designed it in that way, that as soon as you're out, you do something else that's going to get you right back in there because you're a felon.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, we talked about this. So it's really crazy. So and I learned this also on I really listen to Kat Lazo. Okay, she's really dope. And so anyways, they talk, people going into jail, most of them are for probably small crimes,
right?
And people of color. And what life do they have after jail?
Exactly.
They can't get a job.
Nope.
Right? They want to keep us low. And I watch, have you heard of the show Little Fires Everywhere?
Yeah, I just finished that.
Okay,
actually,
dude.
yeah.
So when that came out, me and Manny were both hooked, okay? Why can't I think of her name?
Oh, Kerry Washington?
Yes, first of all, I love Kerry Washington since way back when. Like, not just new Kerry Washington, like, I loved all of Kerry Washington forever.
I know, I feel like I know exactly what you're going to say. I want you to say it.
Yes, so there's a part in the show that, like, it just stuck with me, like, everybody asks me what the show is about, and I don't know how to give it one specific answer because it's about so many different things. But there's a part where Reese Witherspoon comes at Kerry Washington, right? And she's just like talking about like making bad decisions as a mother and bad choices. And Kerry Washington tells her, like, you didn't have good choices, you were given good choices. And that, like, I still get chills. I still have chills because how more raw can you be? Like, people of privilege, you didn't have to go looking for what privilege, opportunity to seek. You had all of it. And when you come from a community where you don't have good choices, your choices are just the minimum, that's what you have.
Right.
And it takes a lot of a person to really take themselves out of that environment, to take themselves out of, and
in a
I
world
know that it can
is
be done.
Constantly designed to keep them from making better choices.
Miah, like, I think about myself, and I take my privilege like very, I don't know, I make it more important than maybe some people make their privilege, because privilege can be so many different things. The fact that I have two parents that are married is privilege. Do you know what I mean? The color of my skin is privilege.
Right.
The fact that I grew up in a house is privilege, and we didn't have the most money. My parents, being the people who they are, was a privilege for me because they never let me see that we didn't have.
Yeah, your parents worked very hard.
Yeah, they didn't let me see the struggle.
Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Almanza.
Yeah,
love
Mom
you.
and Dad, we love
Miss
you. And I think of like your mother, and just in general, having parents who put you in they put you in a space to succeed is a privilege.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that.
Yeah.
And so when Kerry Washington says that, like, that's the one line from the show that I like, that stays with me. Is that what you were thinking, or were you thinking something different?
It's along the same lines, but it's a different part. And she calls her out, and she says, Reese Witherspoon tells Kerry Washington, she's like, I thought we were friends. And Kerry Washington is like, I am not your friend.
Yes.
And she was calling her, I think Reese was trying to say she wasn't racist. She was like, girl, you were racist when you asked me to be your maid.
Yes. She told her to come and work in her house. Y'all, you guys gotta see this show.
We don't want to give it all away.
Yeah, but you need to see the show because it's an important show.
It is.
About...
It's a great dynamic between a white woman who lives in this beautiful home. She's got a family. She's not the happiest. But she, she's a hard worker. She's a lawyer. And then she took some time off, and now she's just been kind of like a house mom.
Yeah.
And I think she has a little resentment because she basically gave up her career of being a lawyer for her family, right? So she feels the world owes her some shit because she's not happy anymore, that she's just living her life for her children, her husband, and everyone's...
Yes, it's like so crazy because I think she resents... Kerry Washington for so many different reasons, because Kerry Washington is an artist and she lives by her art. That's how she makes her money. So she literally does what she loves for a living. She's traveled, and I think that like Reese is just like on some soapbox,
absolutely,
because she believes that like because she's an artist, which she describes as like a struggling artist, but she's not. She actually has a lot of money.
Yeah.
She belittles her for
Right.
living that lifestyle, and it's just crazy because that's like on a whole
She's like,
different
you
level.
smoke marijuana.
Oh my god, yeah, she does say that.
It's
She
funny,
totally,
yeah.
you guys have to watch it. But anyways, that's like a whole episode
Yeah.
itself.
It's
just
good for what's
talking
going
about
on
this show.
in the current climate of today, for
Yes,
sure.
and you know what, y'all? Talking about having things accessible to us. Since the Black Lives Matter movement, Netflix, Hulu, all of these like streaming channels have put out a lot of black
Pro-black, like,
pro-black videos and documentaries. So you don't have to go that far. I
Yeah.
mean, I guarantee that most of you guys have Netflix at least, and there's a lot of documentaries on there that you guys can go look at
Right.
and watch.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of podcasters who are putting out a lot of work right now, and I share it often, but I'll be more like,
I agree. I would say monitor how much you're feeding yourself with Instagram,
Yes.
because there is a lot going on there, and some of the stuff can get a little overwhelming. I
Yes.
understand that, even for me as a black woman in America. Sometimes I
Yes.
don't always want to tune in and see crazy stuff on my timeline, but it's
Sometimes
there for
you
a
want something
reason.
light.
So if you want the meat of what's going on, look at documentaries,
read
read.
a book. Not a lot of people know what a book is anymore, but you should read it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different options that we have that they didn't have,
Yeah.
when America first became America. And
There's
that,
the one on Netflix I specifically like. I watched years ago. I think it's called 13.
Oh,
That's a really great one to explain.
The
Yeah.
13th something.
Amendment.
That one is so good. I
Yeah.
literally recently watched, and I had
Very
seen it, but I never
appropriate for
watched
today.
it.
Yeah.
Perfect for today. So I mean, there's a lot of options, guys, and I'm gonna keep putting resources out there for you, so you don't have to look for them, but you should look for them. Anyways, since I have you on, okay, I want to take some time. We talked about Shaanti Chaos, and you guys, Maya's gonna be on here more. Like, this isn't her only episode. She's my best friend, so she'll be on numerous episodes. But I want to just take a little time to like celebrate you, okay?
Aw.
So, like I said, Maya's been my friend for years, okay, literally since we were like 14 years old, and we've grown up together, and our friendship, I think, is something very special. I consider most of my friendships, like, I take my friendships very seriously, guys, because I don't have siblings, and I think that's why I'm so like, I don't know, I get like really
see that.
attached. Sorry, guys. Sorry for all of you. But anyway, Maya and me went to high school together. That's where we met. We graduated high school. We attended the same college, and since graduating college, Maya has gone on to have numerous accomplishments, okay? And I want them to know like where they can see like some of your work at. So talk about it. Talk about like what you've done. I want them to know like how amazing you are.
Trying to have me get in my bag. Man, and Danielle, you're amazing too. Honestly,
I know.
she inspired me.
I know.
This girl inspired me to actually push for a life in LA and studying musical theater, which I really had no interest or maybe background in, maybe not interest, because I did watch a couple musicals and I was like, okay, like I fuck with this. But me and her went to the same college, like she said, and I graduated in 2014 from musical theater. But let me give you some backstory on that. She was like telling me to change my major, because originally I got accepted as a dance theater major. And she was like, Maya, because she went to AMDA a month before me, or
I think I started like maybe a semester before you. It's like
me.
2 or 3 months before
Right.
Maya.
It's like a year-round kind of school. So she'd said I needed to switch my major to musical theater because of the training just being like all-inclusive with vocal 101 lessons. And I was like, I need to. As a singer and a writer for years, like, though people mainly know me as a dancer, I could never choose between the two. And I said, okay. And I re-auditioned, got in for musical theater, and I've, the rest is history. I've toured with Disney. You guys can't check that out because of COVID-19, but they canceled that tour.
Yeah, but it was amazing. You can look at my pictures. Go to my timeline,
there's a lot of
you
stuff
can
on
see
YouTube
her.
stuff. Yeah, you can go on YouTube. And that job was dear to me because it wasn't my first big job out of college, but it was very meaningful as I was playing a child African-American doctor It was actually written by an English woman, or sorry, not English, Irish woman.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you said Irish. Mm-hmm.
And she's the first black doctor, female doctor. So there's the 3 major accomplishments that Disney put out.
Good job, Disney.
So good
you
job,
still got
Disney.
more to do, but good job.
Exactly. And I had the privilege of playing the first face character of her. So look her up. Doc McStuffins is just dear to me. She's, like I said, African-American, young, sweet girl who just pretends that she's a doctor because her mom is actually a doctor.
Yes.
And
I'm going to cry.
She's got a little daughter. Not daughter. Whoa, bring it back.
No,
she's got a little baby sister. That ain't the ratchet version. Wait,
she don't have no baby.
She has a baby sister, and her name's Miah.
Oh my!
Isn't that crazy?
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. So it's very.
I'm crying right now, guys.
Meaningful for me.
Like Maya's gonna talk about some of her other performances and some other videos you can see her in, but this performance I think I've seen. It's the Disney Junior
Dance Party.
Party. Okay, so if you've been to California Adventures, they have something similar. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's where it started.
It originally started on in California Adventures. I know that I've seen it with my niece when my niece was baby.
Totally different.
Yeah, totally different. Because these characters are like in the character suits, like like when you go to Disneyland and you see Mickey Mouse, like he's in a big suit, like costume. So I think for Miah to be the first face character, like that's a big ass deal, y'all. Okay, if you don't know, like that's a big deal. And so
and these kids, they don't, maybe they know the difference. Obviously they can look at their skin and see that it's different from mine, but they just gravitate towards me. All different types of races.
Because you share so much love, dude. I mean,
watch these shows and that's all they know is love.
I'm like super biased.
Racism is taught.
Oh, racism is definitely taught, and there's a lot of, and this is how we know, because a lot of our kids right now in this day and age are learning from what they're learning from TV shows. They're learning from their tablets, right? And that's not taught to them.
Absolutely.
Disney's not out there teaching you about, they're teaching you how to be anti-racist. Actually, they're teaching you how to be inclusive and include everybody, and other organizations too. But at home, they're taught these behaviors. At home, they're taught these ideas. And like you said, like seeing Miah, guys, for me, I think I've been to every performance that I've been able to go to. Obviously, I'm biased, okay, because she's my best friend. But, like when I watch you on stage, like my boyfriend went with me to the first time I saw the show. He went.
It's definitely a kid show, y'all.
Yeah, it's definitely a kid show.
But it was fun. We made it so that the adults could enjoy it too.
Yeah, we felt kind of like, oh my God, we don't have any kids and we're like just sitting here watching this show.
If you go, you have a little sip, it's a cute show.
It's fun. No, I think because it's important for us. I mean, I'm a Disney lover. Okay, so I'm all about this. I would go see this with or without shows. Like, I'll go to Disney on Ice with kids or without kids. Like, I love, and because I'm a performer, so I like stuff like that. Yeah. But I mean, this show is just amazing. Miah is amazing, and so I mean, it was a really big accomplishment, and I saw it multiple times, which tells y'all like I was about it.
It was just a wake up call, that job. Honestly, I didn't have a huge background in who the character was. I didn't know who she was at all, and embodying who she is and just seeing how much it means for these little kids who sometimes don't get the opportunity to even go to something like this, but once in their life, that is where the meat of it all was for me. So yeah. Yes,
saying that is like, it's shows like the Disney Junior Dance Tour Party is not available to everybody. No. You probably have specific kids that you see a lot of
parents
times
there who are crying because they didn't even go to Disneyland their whole lives.
Oh, and it's like really, guys, like this show is like being in Disney or just in a different theater. It's very important, and so y'all can't see it now because of COVID. It's ruining all of 2020.
Yeah, they'll probably go back on tour once things get back and cracking.
But we
got bigger fish to fry. So
besides that, you've been in what else? Talk to us about your life.
You can catch me outside. No, I'm playing. You can catch me on Amazon Prime. I did just release a show called Breakerati, which is my baby as well. I play a 16-year-old high school dance captain with some interesting secret powers, maybe not.
Yes.
And you guys gotta tune in. It's really dope. It's all out there. It's honestly so short. There's like 6 episodes or 8. There's 8 episodes, and I think they're like maybe 15 minutes per episode.
You can you can binge it.
You can binge it in a day for sure. And yeah, so another black woman of power, you know, in a situation where maybe she didn't realize she had power, like her father's not around. You know, she grew up with a broken home. Her mother and her, they fight all the time. And my mother is actually played by a Filipino woman. So that's another thing. The storyline is really dope in how the races, you know, worked out. And so just, you guys tune in. It's about...
it's important to
yeah,
watch.
it's kind of got a Romeo and Juliet vibe with two opposing, or a bunch of opposing groups fighting each other to get the medallion of dopeness. And it's 80s bass, which I love. Super dance.
So
it's a mix of combat fighting and dance.
Yeah.
So you guys check it out. It's dope.
It's really cool. So what else can they see you in? Some music videos?
Yeah, you can see me in some music videos.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, you know what? But I'm literally like about anything that you
pull out
do.
the whole resume.
I do. I want you to tell them because, and I think of Mia's like really being humble right now. When I want her to. Just,
I mean,
like,
honestly, it's
shout
probably
it all
hard
out.
for me to go through and like I print out the resume and be like, okay, yeah, I forgot that video too.
Yes.
Because honestly, the music video thing is cool, and I realized when I was younger, and just like, or you know, some people who may not be in LA and that's all a fairy tale for them, or just like, wow, they think it's so cool. It is cool. But I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while.
This is what I want. The meat. Give me it.
I do these kinds of jobs as more of an opportunity just to kind of be busy in that moment when I don't have other things going on. So like, while it's really cool to be in some of the music videos I'm in, you know, that's for artists in LA more so just like something to do when there's not a lot to do.
To make
So
some extra,
shout out to Sarah May for casting me in
Yeah.
a lot of these, but exactly, extra dough growing up out here.
The grind is like
very helpful.
what people think like the struggle out here is real. Like I mean,
you
what
think it's
Hollywood?
bells and whistles, and it's hard out here,
We
y'all.
took Maddie's sister. I remember taking Maddie's sister to Hollywood and her being like, "This is Hollywood," because it's not what you see like on TV. It's different.
It's movie magic for sure.
Definitely.
You know, it's gritty. It's
And-
raw out here.
And the struggle is real.
People are sleeping in their cars out here, and you don't even know because everybody just, it's LA. You fake it till you make it.
You fake it till you make it. And I think for people in Arizona, not just Arizona, but I guess Arizona is like very specific to us, and I know it has like a place in our heart. Well, I know out there the industry is growing, like Arizona is like catching up, right, guys?
Yeah.
But I think like leaving our homes, we were 18 when we left. We were babies just out of high school, and we took a chance, and it was us two and another friend, Anissa.
Anissa,
Yes, we love you, Anissa. We're proud of you, girl. We need to go to Chicago to visit you.
For sure.
And so the three of us, I remember that was such a big deal to like our high school because they were like all three of them got accepted. We were with three that auditioned for this, you know, theater school in LA, and all three of us came out here and we just figured it out, and we did it. We all had a dream, and I think it's really important for me to motivate any mujeres, and you don't have to, I know not only mujeres listen, okay guys, but anybody who's listening, like, just do it, do the damn thing, like, just leave, and sometimes it's so hard, because I don't know what it feels like to stay, you know, but I know what it feels like to get thrown off track, and to get back is hard, but just do it. Just do it. And I think that Miah, you motivate a lot of our community from Arizona. You motivate a lot of our friends. Everybody's proud. Like, I think something we have been blessed with is like support. We have had a lot of people who want us to succeed. They want to see us do great things, and we are, and you are. But I think like for people who are questioning it, or people who are younger, like, just do it. Just do it. Absolutely. You know, and it is hard, and the grind is real, so it's not going to be handed to you. Some of you it may be, and that's a blessing, but for others,
that
like,
still comes with a lot of responsibility.
that comes with a lot of responsibility. The work has to be present, so I mean, just do it. And you guys can also, I'm going to mention another one that they can find you on, The Little Mermaid.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Disney
and that's
Plus.
on Disney Plus, y'all. Okay, I have Disney Plus, so I'll be watching Miah. And that is on Disney Plus. So if you have Disney Plus, check out The Little Mermaid live. You will see our yellow mermaid, okay? Tell me her name, though, because I'm bad.
Oh, Lord Jesus, let me freaking bring it back. It is Adela.
Adela,
That is
yes,
her name.
name.
And she's got the beautiful, which I vouched for, yellow fro.
Yes.
Because she was going to have a
She looks
pony,
so
which would have been okay, too. But I figured, with everything
No.
going on, we need some Afro-centric
We need
vibes.
some fro,
and
yes.
they totally loved it, and they went with that. So if you catch the yellow fro, that's me.
That's Miah. That's my best friend. Okay.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you guys have different. I'll post some of your work too because Maya's just being really humble. I'm gonna show like a lot of things that I brag
Okay,
about.
if y'all want
Maya.
to look at videos, I'm trying to think. Okay, so there's.
I know you were in what's his name, Baby Bash.
Oh yeah, Baby Bash. That's
a
a little
big
more
one to
for
me
all my
because-
Arizona peeps. Well,
Yeah.
he's not from Arizona, but
No, but he
grew up in-
he be in Arizona.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
definitely
loves
goes there.
Arizona.
He puts on Fazy. Yeah,
That's
so.
personal to me. Like when you were in a Baby Bash, I was just like, she's made it big. Like that's my man.
Baby Bash and Frankie J. They
Yes.
are so sweet. Yeah. So
And I just think about being like,
Delighted is the name of that
yes,
video.
Delighted, and it's such a cute. And
70s.
Paris
yeah.
is in it too, right?
She choreographed it.
Yeah, see, Paris, like,
Yeah.
you need to check out these girls. If you don't know who they are already, like, who are you? Where are you?
Yeah.
That's like a big one to me. I'm like, say the Baby Bash, say the Baby,
Baby
Bash.
Bash for sure. Taylor Swift was really cool.
Oh,
She's
yes.
definitely a huge, like, creative, and she's just very much, like, in control, which I like, and she was really sweet to all of us. She, like, handpicked a group of girls, so I felt honored to, be recognized by her, and I think the name of that is The Man.
Yes.
So it's the one where she's dressed up as a man, literally.
Yes.
I didn't even know it was her. She surprised the hell out of me. She was
Really?
dressed up, and they put her in, like, all this prosthetics, and she was a whole ass man on that set, and I didn't even know.
Wow.
Until
You
the
thought
end.
it was for, like some other guy.
I was like, where's Taylor? Until they finally, like, told us in the beginning. And so check that out. Really dope. And that has a really great symbolic meaning of just what it's like to be a woman in the industry. And she's saying if I were a man, things would be a lot, easy for her. And so.
And before we wrap up, can we, like, I'm happy you brought that one up. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Like, being in the industry, you are a woman, which is sometimes a strike against you. You are black, and you are sexy. Like, can we talk about, like,
What, being
have you
over-sexualized
experienced-
as a black woman?
Can
Of
you
course.
can you like talk about any experiences that maybe you faced or observed? Maybe if you personally didn't.
I'm going to actually talk about a great experience because while I'm not, there's no lack of awareness that that's a thing because I have experienced, the negative side of it. I'm going to talk about a really good experience I had on a 2 Chainz video that actually is not out yet. 2 Chainz and $.
Oh,
and
I'm
Ty Dolla
excited
$ign.
for that one. Yes.
Yeah,
You posted like a snippet, right? Mm-hmm.
This was last summer. I don't know what's happening with that track, but anywho, I had an afro on set that day, and I was just embracing my, black beauty. And while usually on sets, sometimes that's ignored, and they would rather have the lighter skinned women brought to the front. You have people like 2 Chainz and Tory Lanez who say, no, absolutely not. Bring the black girl, the blackest of them, or the one with the afro and not the weave down her back. And no shade to that. I love weaves and wigs too, Let's bring her to the front. And that was a moment of like, wow, okay, you get to see in LA and Hollywood who's really real out here, who's representing for us, especially because you just deal with a lot of these rappers who are disrespectful, and not all of them, but it's
A lot of them.
very much a thing.
Present.
And so wait for this airplane to go by.
We're outside, y'all. This is my first time recording outside. So we're experimenting with it. But
We're by a pool.
yeah, we're by a pool. We're relaxing,
Getting
lounging.
some views. And so back to the 2 Chainz music video story. I thought it was really cool because I wasn't expecting to get bumped up to be in the car with him and like, kind of his main
Yes.
girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
And he was
excited.
like, he had one of the directors come up to me, or, ADs. And they're like, hey, yeah, 2 Chainz actually wants you to sit next to him in the lowrider. Is that cool with you? Da-da-da. And I was like, oh, that's dope.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that, and that just meant so much to me. I was like, wow, in a world where, and no shade, like, love has no face. You can love whoever you want, but really love them. don't fetishize them, don't over-sexualize them.
Can we talk about that?
Girl, we can talk about
Let's talk
all
about that.
this.
That's an episode, but can we like introduce them
It's
to
a
what
thing.
you're saying? Yes.
You got to look inside yourself and say, why do I want to fuck with this person?
So what Miah is like, in case you guys are not getting it, what Miah is talking about is mixed race relationships. Okay, and let's say that I want to be with a black guy. What are my intentions? Or a black guy wants to be with me.
What are his intentions?
And I think that we should probably do an episode on that.
Absolutely.
But it's really just
awareness.
Awareness.
So, okay, here's an example. And I also want to get back into the over-sexualizing black women thing because that ties into things too.
Definitely.
So, and this is how we'll do that. So, as a black woman, when a man wants to be with me or a woman or whoever, you just have to be aware of why, because we do live in a world where black women are over-sexualized, and it's taboo for certain races to be with a black woman or a black man. And so it's like, okay, do you want to be with that person because you feel like you're being a rebel to what it is that you were taught not to do? And does that excite you? Because that does not represent what I'm worth.
Yes.
And I'm not accepting that shit.
Yeah.
And you have to be aware of that. We have to look inside ourselves, because it's not just with black and white, it's in general. Like Asian women, I've heard stories of them feeling fetishized. It's don't ever allow someone to make you their arm candy.
Yes.
I tell my white girlfriends specifically, since we're on the subject of the black and white too, because I do have a lot of European friends who only date black men, and I say to them, okay, that's great, but know what you're getting into, because when you have a child with them, they are going to be a black child. That's already a whole other story. Are you ready to parent that person who is going to have a completely different life than you? And also, before you even get that far into the picture, it's like, with a lot of trends going around these days, I feel like actually 50 Cent actually just had an interview, or he was like on Skype with Lil Wayne, and this is trending right now.
I haven't
and
seen
they
it,
were
but I've
talking
heard of
about it pissed me off. They were talking about and just laughing, kikiing about how black men don't want to really date black women sometimes, just because that's what they see all the time. And they're like, we need something exotic.
Oh no,
we need something exotic.
I like that.
I'm tired of seeing these girls on here.
A white girl or whatever.
Right. Whatever the case is, and that we're just too much for them. And
oh no,
somewhere along the lines of that, and he's getting his ass grilled right now because of that. And it's a shame that Lil Wayne was laughing about that, because he has a daughter too who's black. But and I understand where they're coming from, but it's just sad because it's just not true. As far as all the stereotypes that they say about black women, where we come in so many different shapes and sizes and beautiful colors and personalities, and while a lot of us are loud and out there and in your face and bold, because that's what our beauty represents, is boldness, and it's not hidden as it shouldn't be. That doesn't mean that has to be taken negatively. And I think that if someone's going to choose to be with a black woman, they should be embracing certain things about that specific black woman, and not
not putting her in like a category, of all black women,
or only being with her because it excites their taboo-ness of not typically dating a black woman, or her being exotic, because everybody's exotic in a sense if that's something that you aren't used to. But that's what I'm saying. So I tell my white European friends, if a man is only with you because you're exotic, you're his purse, you're his bag, you're his Bugatti. These rappers talking about, oh, I'm in a foreign with a foreign, all that. Wake up. That really means that they don't give a fuck about you. They are using you for their fetish.
Yes.
And that is not okay. So that's what that is.
Honestly,
in a long-winded answer.
Like, yes. No, I'm here for it, and I want to do an episode on this. Maybe we talked about this before, maybe with different girls, like not all of the same culture, you know, who are maybe in, different relationships or have experienced relationships similar
it's
or
okay to
felt
have
this way
preferences,
or
but
not
you don't
felt
have
this
to,
way.
and this is another thing, you can have a preference with the race, but don't demean another race because of that.
Yes.
Black women shouldn't have even been in the conversation with the 50 Cent and Lil Wayne thing. And this is what black women have been saying for years, like, cool, if you guys want to date all these other races and quote unquote exotic people who ended up fucking making the bodies that look just like us anyway, cool, go off. But you don't need to, why are we involved in that?
Yes. Why
Leave
do
us
you
out.
have to? Why do you need to belittle us to be with
That's self-hate.
whoever? Yes.
Your mother's black, most likely. It's just
your daughters.
We don't understand it.
Will be black. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
That's a whole conversation.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a definitely. I
can
wanted
really
you to
get on my
explain
soapbox.
it. Yeah, no, it's okay. I really wanted you to explain it because I understand that a lot of people listening. I know that my listeners probably don't understand what you're.
I get that.
We've had these conversations, so
and it goes the same way with Latinas.
Saying.
You guys are beautiful men and women, and
yes.
if you want to throw in the stereotypes, exotic, spicy, all those great things that you are. I mean, some things come from a little bit of truth, but at the same time, you don't want people to just
be with you because
of that. They should know who you are and love who you are.
And not all of us are
cherry on top.
All those things. I am definitely spicy and sexy, but not all of us. But not all of us have these stereotypes that we're people,
right?
We're individuals,
right.
And it's when you're put into a group and that's what they give you to work with. And I think in the industry too, like sometimes there's only certain roles for Latinas and Black women. We need more roles, and I think it's getting better.
Representation, yeah.
But representation in Hollywood is it's needed, and we see it. We see it. I see it happening.
Well, you know what the answer is now? You got to create that shit.
Yes.
There's no more banging on doors demanding to be let in. We're creating these doors now.
We need to be our own producers, directors, creators. I watched the show, and I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called Vida. And I'm obsessed with the director. And I know that sometimes when we see these shows that are there's another one, Gentified is out and Vida is out.
Episodes of that. I like
and
that.
I know that sometimes the Latin community is I don't like it because all you worked off of was stereotypes. Why does he have to own a taco shop? Why can't he be a doctor?
That. I feel that.
And I feel that too. And I was taking some acting classes at Casa 101 in Boyle Heights area. And right before COVID just fucked with my year. But I was taking some classes there, and my teacher or my coach was actually talking about that, how they felt Gentified and Vida, and I can't remember what other show, I'm sure I've watched it, were just being built off of stereotypes. And I can see that and I understand that, but I think I'm looking past that, and I'm okay, well, they're working with the stereotypes and they're making something of it. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just being a stereotype, all right, I'm gonna take it and make something out of it, and I'll make some money out of it. And I just think it's nice to see people who look like me on TV. So I get that. I get that.
And you do have people who own taco shops out in motherfucking
and
Boyle
it's real,
Heights,
and that's the thing. Yeah, and that's how I also feel too. But yes, it could be a stereotype, but it's also true.
Right.
And then there will eventually be a show where we as Latinas are doctors and, I don't know, professionals, but it's coming, but to be for me, there are legit people who are owning taco shops and restaurants, and they're being represented now.
Yeah.
And by their people, not by somebody else, and I think that that's amazing. And it makes me feel good as an actress too, because I know when I was going to the performing arts school, to AMDA, I was still finding out who I was, because obviously I was really young. I was very insecure, which is a whole different episode about a lot of different things about myself. But there just weren't people who looked like us. Do you know what I mean? And
boy, did that change from then till now.
Yes, it's
and so much content is out now where that's not a thing anymore.
Exactly. And so when when Gentified came out, when Vida came out, I was all for it, because I was dude, there's roles for me.
Right.
There are people who are looking for me, and me being somebody who's, like I said, is fifth generation Chicana, they want me. They want me too, because it doesn't exclude me from the Latinx culture. It just means that I got a whole lot to continue to learn about my culture, and to embrace. So I think you know, as people of color, our time is now, right? We need to take advantage of all of everything that's going on politically, and in the industry, and just really like take it and run with it, and don't stop.
And educate yourself outside of school systems too, you know.
Yeah, school systems are not the only
Lord,
only answer. Yeah, we could talk for days, y'all. Before we wrap up, I know you wanted to go back to being sexualized.
Well, no, I actually wrapped it up when we were talking.
Okay, so that was it. Okay.
I
was like, I don't want.
I said what I said,
and
girl.
I meant it. If you know, before we finish, one, I want to thank you for, you know, coming on Mujeres de Pilar. It means a lot to me, you guys, because Maya is my best friend, obviously. Obviously, I made this podcast because I wanted to give space for the women in my life to have like a platform to refer back to, so that we could grow as a community. You know, you've been my friend for so many years, so you know me. And I think in California, I've met a lot of people who have made me like the woman that I am, but you've known me since I was like a girl, you know? So you've been a part of that process. It's really important for me that you understand that your voice has a space on Mujeres de Pilar.
Thank you.
And, you know, I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I don't know if there's any last, you know, comments you want to share with the listeners. Whatever the topic be about, following their dreams, starting a business.
Definitely business. And man, I can't stress that enough, because I'm still kind of, you know, learning different things and ways to be sustainable, especially living in LA when it's crazy to try to, you know, maneuver out here financially, just because it's rocket sky, you know, the rent and just whatever, the
popular
lifestyle.
place to live. Yeah, it's the lifestyle.
Yeah, and so I would say definitely venture outside of the norm. You know, a lot of times we think this 9-to-5 lifestyle just because our parents and the baby boomers out there who've done it and they work and work and work and work, and no shade to them. That's totally, you know, those are people that raised us, and we give them all the glory and respect for that. But now we're starting to shift consciously, right? So we're seeing there's so much money out there in the world that you don't have to box yourself into one job and essentially drain yourself for years on end. Like, think smarter. And I'm still figuring out ways to do that. But like, I have a training session for, what is it, the Forex? And I'm sure that's going around a lot right now. Some people are probably listening to this like, it sounds like a scam and blah, blah, blah. And it's not. It's a $7.3 trillion market right now. So there's money out there to be made, and you don't have to choose that market. But just so you know what kind of money is out there, there's so many ways to make money. And what is it they say? Like the average millionaire or billionaire or something makes like 7 streams or has 7 streams of income.
Not one.
So yeah,
7.
Just take yourself out of the norm of what you think you need to do in order to sustain yourself, and ask yourself, has that been working for you? And if it has financially, great, but what about your mental and your emotional, you know, stance? And I think bigger.
Yes.
Think bigger. Don't be afraid to step outside of the box and take control of your life. Would ask yourself, what do I want my life to look like?
And how can I get it?
How can I get it?
And I think our parents, you brought up the baby boomers, they did a great job developing us into hard workers.
Absolutely.
Like understanding what hard work is, labor. I think what we need to do is, our parents want a better life for us. You know, whoever raised you loves you. Whoever's loving on you wants more for you.
Right.
So I think we need to take the hard work that they've shown us and really just give it opportunity
to teach them too.
To teach them as well, and to find financial freedom for them as well.
Generational wealth. What do you want for your children's children?
Yes, and it's and we talk about that in the first episode with Binuelitas. You know, Letty says it. I want generational wealth for my daughter. I don't want her to have to like struggle. And I want her to struggle enough so that she has like a backbone, but not struggle so that, you know, she can have these luxuries in life. They can pay for college if that's what they choose to do, or pay for a business. You hit it right on the nail.
And there's no way you can fail. The only way you fail is not trying, you know, and that's may sound cliche, but that's real. You know, you have to do it to know. I'm starting this business. I have the Shaanti Chaos thing. Like, it's new for me, and I'm putting my business hat on, and I could fail technically, but it's not a failure because
no, you did it. You started it, and really, yes. When you started, I was so excited when you started Shaanti Chaos because I'm like, she literally talked about this a year ago, guys. Like, we were on a boat in the middle of all this water and we were talking about things that we wanted to start, and I'm proud of us, Miah, because you started this business, I started the podcast. Like, I think that's just what it's about. We get one life,
and talk about it and manifest it.
Yes,
believe in it. It'll happen.
We need to live the lives that we want to live. And so thank you for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Mujeres de Pilar with my best friend, Miah Blake. Check her out, guys, on Instagram, Miah, not Mia. Follow Shaanti Chaos. You can listen to Mujeres de Pilar on SoundCloud and YouTube. Follow Mujeres de Pilar podcast on Instagram for details and, episodes to come. Next week, we have Myra Noriega on. I am so excited. Myra, I love you. I know your episode has been postponed, girl. I know. But I'm excited to finally share your story with our listeners. I love you, mujeres. Remember, follow your dreams, stay strong, educate yourselves on everything going on in the world, and
love yourself.
Love yourselves. Amen.
Love yourself.
Yes, there you guys go. You got a little bit of vocal. Bye, guys. Have a good day.